I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
So we want to thank you tonight for these mighty machines that you brought before us. Thank you for the Dodges and the Toyotas. Thank you for the Fords. And most of all, we thank you for Roush and Yates partnering to give us the power that we see before us tonight. Thank you for GM Performance Technology and the R07 engines. Thank you for Sunoco Racing Fuel and Goodyear tires that bring performance and power to the track. Lord, I want to thank you for my smoking hot wife tonight, Lisa. My two children, Eli and Emma, or as we like to call them, the little E's. Lord, I pray you bless the drivers and use them tonight. May they put on a performance worthy of this great track. In Jesus' name, boogity, 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 amen.
Alright, what's going on, everybody? I'm your host for the RR After Dark podcast, Nicholas Alves. Also, I just want to say really quickly, thank you to all our viewers all year long to listening, watching us on YouTube. Without further ado, we also have to thank you to our wonderful sponsors, especially here for Racing Revolution. The number one being Chapman Environmental Services, also Butt Kicker, Ultimate Siding and Gutters, and of course Simtrax Broadcasting. Without them, you guys won't be able to view us on a weekly basis. So we do thank you, Patrick and Stella, for everything you guys do. Without further ado, let's introduce ourselves. You've always heard my name and the guy to my left if you're watching on YouTube all the time. But anyway, just in case you forgot who we are, my name's Nick Alves, driver of the number 24 Coastal Financial Chevy Camaro. Also to my left with the glasses on and the cool headphones, it is Justice Murphy, driver of number 12 All About Bugs Chevy Camaro. So, this podcast, obviously, if you guys know and keep track of us, this is the podcast before the Championship 4. We raced all season long to see who the final four drivers were going to be to race for the championship. And some hearts were broken, some people laughed, some people cried. I cried. And four people cheered because they understand that they're going to have a chance to go home with the Racing Revolution Season 3 championship. So without further ado, let's introduce these four drivers, and we're going to go in order of how they secure their spot into the championship 4. So first up on the list is Rob Rader, driver number 53 Chapman Environmental Ford Mustang. Next up is his teammate Jeremy Burns, driver number 9 Chapman Environmental Services Ford Mustang, and their third teammate Caleb Gilbert, driver number 54, Chapman Environmental Services Ford Mustang. And the driver who has to go up against these three teammates, the one we're all cheering for because we like an underdog. We want him to win. He's the fan favorite. It's James Loveland, driver number 06, E-Man Graphics Chevy Camaro. Oh, 02, 02, 02. I am so sorry. You know we mess up on the podcast all the time, so let's get started with the bank getting one of our Championship 4 drivers' numbers wrong. So anyway, we're going to talk to you guys about the Championship 4, your hopes. Obviously, we all know what you guys are hoping for, so we're going to ask you guys what the strategy is going in here, your mindset. Two of you have been here already. One of you's won it. The other one that's been here before has not. We got two newcomers in the Championship 4, so we're going to talk everything. But first, we got to talk a little bit about Martinsville, and I'm actually going to shoot it over to my co-host, Justice Murphy, who had a great view all night, actually, of that race. Actually, I wouldn't say a great view. It was a great view of nothing in front of him up until lap, like, 2 to go or 3 to go, 4 to go or something. Yeah, so anyway, Justin, if you want to take it away and talk a little bit about Martinsville, then we can shout out these guys.
Yeah, I kind of expected the mess that we saw. I said all week my practice was going to be on qualifying runs. Let me practice 2 lap runs and try to get the fastest lap down. To be honest, kind of struggled in practice Tuesday night. Didn't really feel great about it. Um, wasn't feeling great about it when we got into the pre-race practice yesterday. I mean, I was like 12th fastest. Get in there, qualify fourth, and then the mayhem really started at lap 0. So, kind of kept it up front until the stage break. Went in, pitted. Didn't take any tires, but still lost like 7 positions because of people staying out. Um, drove back up. I think I made a comment at one lap like 109 that if we got to halfway, I was going to take my shirt off. And then we went green for, I guess everybody didn't want that. So we went green for like
Thank God
60
we had a
laps.
caution.
Yeah, for like 50 or 60 laps. And then we were back to the caution fest. But yeah, it was kind of good battle with Caleb after that caution. We pitted, go in there, and we just kind of were 1-2, 1-2, and we got a little replay of what I would call gateway. Gateway. I came out of the pits ahead of Caleb. He spun behind me, trying to stay off of me. And then last night I did the same thing. I kind of caught his bumper, but was trying not to wreck him and spun myself from second. So it was a good run for Mr. Gilbert to get himself in victory lane, get some momentum going into Phoenix along with his other 2 teammates. But I'm still not counting out that O2 machine, man. Anywhere you got to do some braking and rotating, the guy's always in contention.
So, Caleb, since this is not all about you, but kind of really is, because you won Martinsville. You're actually the only driver ever to win Martinsville here in the league, because we've only been there twice. You got your first win there last season at Martinsville. Now you back it up with another Martinsville win. Do you just feel comfortable at the short tracks, or do you just think it's like you're just comfortable at Martinsville?
Oh, hell no. Good strategy. Knowing who I'm racing with and playing it from there. And just, I wanted to be super safe yesterday compared to the first time we're at Martinsville. It just worked out where, especially when you wreck every 5 laps, that if you're fast and you're careful, you're going to pass one guy that's wrecked and one guy on speed. So slowly make my way up past Justice on pit road. And then I was pretty much only racing him. And, even Berube I trusted there. And I said if they got to me, I was letting it by. Go right on ahead. I don't want to get dumped, finish 20th, miss the playoffs. If Loveland, gets up to where he finished 6th and I finished 20th or something like that. So yeah, just a mix of good strategy, playing the patience game, and being the byproduct of some lucky cautions.
Yeah, so you said you had a pretty nice buffer going into Martinsville, so you weren't too like worried about it. But a guy that went in knowing he had to do very well to gain some points, and actually he only made it in by 1 point. So, Mr. James, what was your mindset going in? Were you like point tracking the whole night? What was going through your mind?
Well, it's kind of weird. I was really trying to just, get stage points and then just basically cruise the rest of the race and hope nobody won. But unfortunately, didn't get any stage points and just had to play a different strategy throughout the second half of the race. And yeah, was kind of hoping I was just kind of keeping myself around Berube, but he was a rocket ship yesterday. I'm pretty glad he didn't win, but yeah, my main goal after that stage was just to stay as close to him as possible and minimize the points he could get, and try to get nobody to get a win too. So I think Grant was up there at one point. So yeah, just really glad that nobody won, and I got to get as close as possible to Berube as possible with just 1 point, surprisingly.
So
Nobody that could fuck him, Caleb. That's what he
Yeah,
meant.
yeah,
I
really.
know.
So,
Play him
so,
down.
so you said you didn't get any stage points. I'm gonna jock it over to the guy that was the cause of you not getting any stage points. So, Rob, what was your mindset going into Martinsville since you were already locked in? So, were you just there for fun, cruising around? It looked like you actually buffed up a few guys over here.
I mean, the main goal was to just hopefully not have a penalty for Phoenix. I kind of half expected to get, you know, damage early in the race and then just quit with my sanity. But unfortunately, I stuck around long enough to lose it entirely, which we can talk about later. But I really didn't have any plans for the race at all. Showed up so I didn't get fined, and it was an all right time. I'm glad we got some green flag racing it.
Jeremy, I know you seem like you were all over the place last night. You were up front, you were in the middle, you were in the back. Like, were you also just there for fun, cruising around, or what was your mindset going into Martinsville since you knew you were safe?
Well, goal number one was to help Caleb, obviously, and just try to make sure that he got in. But after that, it was just, having fun. And I see you over there, Caleb. It was just overall to have fun and go out there and just compete with the guys. I mean, it is just fun at the end of the day. So, I mean, I was going to stick around. I mean, at one point I was contemplating leaving, but I was like, you know what? I can't do that to these guys. And then Rob, of course, was over there losing his mind. So I said, you know what? I'm going to stay and see how this turns out. But yeah,
You
I
don't
mean, it was
even
fun
know.
at the end of the day.
You didn't even get to hear all the best
You
bits.
didn't get to hear the back and
I
forth.
was gonna say, before we get to Phoenix and talking about what's gonna go on down there, do you guys, I mean, you two to my left and right, I'm actually in the middle of all you guys, which is amazing. So YouTube's gonna get a great view of this. Um, when you guys want to like start the conversation with what was going down in admin chat and the race comms that no one else could understand that was going on?
What, with Kevin responding in driver chat
Yeah,
while
yeah,
we're having
yeah,
admin
yeah.
discussions? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think the guy that did the wrecking should start it. Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, so I don't know exactly how we got here, but I got absolutely ass packed by the All About Bugs, whatever the hell it is. And
Chevrolet Camry, if you ask me.
yeah, Toyota Camaro. And so anyway, you get wrecked in these things sometimes. It's not that big a deal. And I was a little annoyed I got wrecked out of second, because it's second. But also, I was really happy to be in second at that point in the race because I was like the buffer for Caleb. So we could have restarts later on in the race. Both take the bottom and get clear. And anybody who needed to get to Caleb would have to go through me first. So from the team
I was
perspective, I was
expediting
happy.
the process, really.
And you did. You certainly did. So I had run Justice down a little bit, and it's such a short green flag runs that you have because guys keep wrecking. And so I get to him, and I'm like, I'm just gonna give him a little nudge, and I didn't actually expect it to do anything, just because these cars, you have to hit people pretty hard most of the time to get them to move. But I don't know if he had like a tire locked up when I hit him, or if it was just right or what. But it moved him up the track real nice and gentle. It was a thing of beauty, and I was like, it's all good. And then 2 corners later, I just get absolutely destroyed. And so I was a little bit pissed off, but the thing that upset me more was that he just didn't care at all. So anyway, we hashed it out in admin chat and after the race, and still hate him, but it's fine.
I think my favorite part of the whole thing is when you two were talking about what happened, and then Justice gave his point of view, and you're like, "Oh, well, I appreciate the apology, thank you." Justice and me is like, "That's not a fucking apology." He goes, "All right, wreck from second,
Oh
thanks."
yeah,
Yeah.
it was sarcasm. And in case
Yeah.
you didn't pick it up, he goes through this whole long thing. Well, yeah, the fucking tire's locked up. If you were paying attention, you would have heard my tire locked up. And I'm like, thanks for the apology, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I locked the
it's
left
okay.
front up going into the corner, and only way to roll out of it without
That's why he
spinning
wrecked me on
myself was
corner
to
exit,
hit Rob. Yeah.
the tire was locked up on
Uh,
entry. Yeah,
yeah.
it was
So
tough.
And
I was just trying to roll it, keep from spinning, hit Rob. It was just beautifully timed, really.
Yeah.
the most beautiful thing I think about this that goes down, and I actually said this in BDE chat the other day, is when boys argue, and I mean like the boys argue, um, like within an hour, 2 hours, we're completely fine. Unlike, the other
Mhm.
women, okay, women.
There
Anyway,
it is.
We're
Canceled.
canceled. We are
anyway,
canceled.
anyway, I'm just saying the boys hash it out and they forgive and forget a lot easier. And by the last lap, you guys were completely fine because you guys were smacking walls at the same time, doing pirouettes together. It was beautiful.
The funny part is we didn't even hash it out. We just ended up in admin chat after the race and we were perfectly fine. Like nothing ever happened. That's how
Pretty
it
much.
works with me and Rob now.
This is not the first time that this has happened.
No,
And
God,
it will
no.
not be the last time that this
It
will
will
happen.
not.
Yeah, it is what it is.
All right, so we're not gonna get too much into Martinsville because we're just gonna be talking about Caution Fest or whatever. So the reason why everyone's gonna tune in here and what they all want to talk about is you four fighting it out. Now, the next question is, obviously we know the strategy going into Phoenix is to win, but how do each of you feel about Phoenix as a track? Is it one of your strengths? Is it a weakness? Is it something that you guys knew going into this that you guys had to plan for? Like, is there any strategy going in here? I know three of you guys are teammates, and the whole teammate thing is out the window here for the final race. I get that. But any one of you guys want to shine some light on like what your feelings is? And I think one person that is going to be really good at the track, and he's really good at short tracks, is Mr. James Loveland.
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling pretty good about it. I'm a little bit skeptical. I got to do some practice this weekend because I don't think I have a single lap in the next gen car there. I
Never
don't
mind.
recall.
I redirect everything that I
That's
just said.
probably an advantage because how it drove
Oh,
last season is completely different than this season.
Yeah, and I wasn't even there for the championship race.
Correct.
So I have no laps. I mean, maybe I've run it before and I just don't remember, but I don't know. I feel pretty good. I do pretty decent there. I mean, I know season 1 we ran Xfinity cars, which is just totally different, but I won that race and Rob won the championship. So, we'll see what happens. I mean, I just got to practice and figure it out and just go there and give it my best.
I've got some great news for you. If you win the race this time, Rob will not win the championship.
That is true.
I would prefer that.
I know one guy who was in the championship for last season at Phoenix and absolutely struggled at the track. Surprisingly, I was faster than him, but he still ended up finishing in front of me because of incidents between me and the other championship 4 driver. Anyway, Caleb, how do you feel about Phoenix since you were
So-
absolute dog shit last year?
Hold please. All right, get it straight. I fucked up qualifying. It was ugly. I spun on the transition into lap 2, so both laps were terrible.
Like the story of Caleb.
Yeah.
Fucked up qualifying.
Yeah, I made pretty good. Maybe not so much recently. I did have the highest quality position until like I don't know, 5 races ago. Screwed that one up. But I did that like lap 3. I'm like, these guys, I'm gonna run it hard, get what I can. Nobody's really gonna race me, and if they do, they'll be pretty respectful. Putting the inside wall off in 3 and 4 by somebody's teammate in here, and then no, on the restart, the initial start, a certain individual that likes to wreck wrecked me and Sirkovich on lap 1.
Oh,
Then I
yeah.
restart.
That individual still races here, right?
He does.
Yeah.
And then I think Berube, unintentionally, of course, just kind of a little raced me hard. I got loose on his bottom, put me in the inside wall, and I had 2.5
Pause.
minutes of damage off the rip. So I actually don't know how good or bad I truly was, because quality speed I was like 5th probably. But there's always been a gap between like me and like Rob Loveland. Justice is usually good there, and Trevor are the main 4 I think of. Nick, you were good last time. I know that.
Thank
Lot
you.
of work put in. Yeah, still good enough for like 6th if you didn't wreck Trevor. So thanks. But no matter what Nick says, I see a 2nd place trophy right up there on the wall. Nick, what do you have?
Mine
Yeah.
says 3rd.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Yeah, we'll see. I gotta practice a lot.
All right. I got 2 guys left. Does the reigning champ want to go first, or does the guy that's been hot all season want to go first?
Let the new blood go first.
All right,
Yeah,
newbie. Newbie, you're new. You're new to the championship 4. You're not new to the playoffs. You're not new to winning. Well, this season you've been dominant all year. How do you feel about Phoenix?
I feel pretty good. Last season for the championship, I actually did the VR camera, which was like the first time I had ever done that. So I don't think that was really a fair testament of what I could have done. It was more just for the show. But at the same time, I put in a little bit of practice. I feel good. It's more of a flat track. It's just gonna be about keeping the tires underneath of you. I mean, Rob last season, I don't know how he kept the tires underneath of him for so long.
If
You
you
know, at
ask
the end
Ted,
of the
I cheated.
race. Yeah, yeah,
So
of
yeah.
course.
Cheater,
You know, tire grip
scumbag.
hacks. That's why I joined the team. Really, I got the grip hacks. You know, that's how it ended up being. But no, I mean, I'm racing against two of my teammates, and then of course Loveland, who I met at Bristol. So really, there are no bad winners here. You know, all these guys are my buddies, so just really looking forward to it. And I have the College Series race on Tuesday, the night before, so I might be dragging into the championship race, but I'm still going to be as energized as possible because it's been coming since February, right? Everyone's been looking forward to this since February, since we started this season. So I'm definitely feeling confident going into it, and I'm ready for Wednesday to be here already.
Nice. Well, you've been winning a lot this season. Maybe you can win again. Now, we're gonna talk to a guy that's no stranger to championships here. Okay, Rob, go ahead.
Okay, Nick. I mean, didn't you get the prize
Any,
for last season?
I did. Anyway,
Do you think you'd be
Rob,
nicer to me?
Mr. Rob Raider, the two-time back-to-back RR champion, looking for a three-time champion, and to keep his name in the record books as the only champion in RR history, Mr. Robert. How do you feel about Phoenix?
Really good. I've see. Well, James beat me there in the Xfinity car, so that sucks. But I'm 2 for 2 in playoff finale races at Phoenix. Once here and once in a different league in the trucks. So yeah, it's hard not to have confidence going in. And you look around and you know all these guys are going to be tough, and strategy is going to become part of it. And last year, it almost got away from me just because of the timing of a late caution. And if I pit, everyone else stays out. If I stay out, everybody else pits. And fortunately, I had enough pace to hang on to the end, and Trevor was a wrecking ball or something there at the end. I don't know exactly what happened, but
Didn't matter, dude.
didn't matter.
I was playing Blaney on your back bumper.
But yeah, it was good, man. But these guys are all going to be fast, and there's so many different things that can happen. Really, at the end of the day, I'm glad to get the other two guys who are here on my team in, and of course, shout out to James for making it in after missing part of the season. So really, anybody here deserves it. I've got 2 of them already, and I want a third. But if I don't get it, I won't be too disappointed. Just I know it'll go to somebody who deserves it. So
Very well said from a champion himself. Very well said. What else can we ask you guys before? Actually, Justice, do you want to go into the special segment? You got anything you want to say before we move on?
No, I think I'd like to get some opinions maybe from a couple of them. Yeah, a couple of guys before we run the race, right? So you don't end on a bitter note, right? Is how we feel about the season and finally getting an off season, right? We're gonna get a little 8 or 9 week break and go refreshed into the next season. How are we feeling about that? I've heard Rob's opinion, so I'd like opinions maybe from the other three.
It's
One,
nice.
1, 2, 3,
I
go.
need it.
I'll go. Sure.
There you
I
go.
mean,
There you go.
it'll be refreshing, especially because finals are coming up, at least here in college. And also, I'm gonna start losing some weight, so I'm gonna go to the gym more often and take what time I would be practicing to go to the gym. I'm really gonna work on that on the off season. And it sounds like I'm in like football or some athletic sport, you know, but it's all about maintaining that, and it kind of gives me a break just to kind of make sure my Wednesdays are open now. So it'll be nice, and I know that y'all are gonna have events during the off season, so that'll be fun. But it's definitely gonna be nice to where I'm not fully committed on the Wednesday nights between now and February.
Good to hear. Let's go with James next. How you feeling about the off season coming up?
Yeah, pretty good. I tell you, it's been a roller coaster year. I mean, so much has happened this year, in real life and in the league. I just a lot of big changes in life, and coming into the league late and just running for points every single week, playing the math and all that, just to try to get to the playoffs, then trying to get into each round. And I think finally, this is the only week out of the whole season that I don't have to worry about points. I almost did when I won Kansas, but then unfortunately I had a life emergency thing go on and didn't even get to race Bristol. So yeah, this will be nice just to go out and go for the win and don't have to worry about points. But yeah, I'm just kind of glad it's. I mean, I've had a fun season. It's been an awesome season, but really enjoyed racing with everybody. But I need a break. It's just been a lot this year, and I just need to take a break and refresh and come back next year stronger.
Perfect. Caleb.
Yeah, it's needed. It's a long season and it's a drag. Like I don't know, halfway through the season, it's like, I'm not gonna practice outside of Tuesdays and get in, figure it out on Wednesday, and then hopefully, you figure it out by halfway through and you have a good run. So that's nice in that regard. But I know, like after 3 weeks, I'm like, damn, I want to race when it's Wednesday. So that's how it always goes. And then I'm gonna go run an official and then get wrecked by some bozo, and then yeah, talk to me then.
Yeah, we've gone back and forth about it in admin chat. Rob and Nick can confirm this, but I said, don't expect me at a special event, right? The grind, obviously, James, the grind you had, missing 7 races, and then you're fighting for points the whole time, and goes to the grind for the admins, right? We've raced something like, if you're an OG, 70 out of the last 79 Wednesdays. I think I've missed about 5 races, so I've run about 65 of those. And there's a grind for us. There's some things that, like Tuesday night practice was only supposed to be a season 1 Xfinity thing, right? I don't know how many remember that, but that was not going to originally stick around. And then we noticed how much better it was. It was making everything, so we kept it. And so yeah, kind of from the admin perspective, being committed to trying to show up on Tuesdays, trying to show up on Wednesdays. It's been a grind. So yeah, the off season will be good. Good reset. Me and Rob won't wreck each other and go after each other, and
Probably not.
But yeah, I just wanted some perspective on that, because for 3 of the 4 of you, it's going to probably be a little bittersweet and anxious to get back in the car and prove you can get it. One person will spend 10 weeks very happy.
You know what I'm really looking forward to though? The Daytona 24.
Yeah.
I look forward to taking a big long break leading up to that.
Yep.
And then having energy and a little bit of drive to actually go out and do something with that. So I think,
Like I said, my intent, special event wise, would be if we'll run a snowball derby, I'll run that. But other than that, I'll probably kind of just be away, and yeah, I run the 24. Try to not have Burns sleep through his alarm.
Yeah, I'll get
Again.
up on time this time.
Yeah.
I have plenty of time to rest up.
don't forget your toothbrush.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Speaking of 24, we already have 2 official teams for RR. We're always looking for more participation. Maybe get a 3rd or a 4th team, depending on how many guys are interested in doing that. But without further ado, if any of you guys pay attention to the podcast 2 weeks ago, Caleb, I know you were here for it. So, would you want to do the honors of going first, or do you think you're gonna take a little bit too long?
Just shut up.
Doing
Go.
the answers
Go.
again.
Are you gonna give us a 17 paragraph answer again?
All right. So anyway, for the viewers and watchers out there, and listeners, sorry, this is gonna be a quick reaction segment where we're gonna ask these 4 guys, just basically they're
Rapid
all
fire.
what,
Like 1 or 2 word little.
yeah, 1 or 2 word little
nuggets.
things. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of like names on here. I mean, there's one that's just like long to say, but that's saved for someone real special in my heart, to do that. But anyway, Caleb, without further ado, quick reactions. Are you ready?
I am ready, sir.
All right. Without further ado, here we go. Banger.
Wreck.
Hey, listen, Kevin gave me that one. I wasn't sure of putting that one in. Okay, I
Right,
swear
throw it
Kevin
out.
gave me that one.
That makes a lot of sense.
Okay, anyway, here we go. Bump.
Run.
Finale.
Me win.
Unqualified.
No comment.
Sonoma.
No comment.
Here we go. Back marker.
No comment. Indiana road course.
Dirt.
Bristol.
Kia.
Your car.
Hey. Butt kicker.
Don't have one.
Ryan Blaney.
Future champion.
You just said look alike, dude.
Oh, that's actually kind of true.
He looks
A
just
little
like
bit,
him.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
little
I
bit.
do.
God.
Especially like in the dark. You know?
Yes.
Let your brain fill in the rest.
Th-
Does
So
anybody know who Cody Bellinger is? Baseball
yeah,
player?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I grew a beard out so people would shut up.
Oh yeah. He looked just like Cody. I
Oh,
can see
yeah,
that.
yeah. If you
I
have
don't
it
have a beard,
trimmed,
I do.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so you guys are gonna notice there's a certain thing in here for each of you guys that I put in that I think describes you guys, and we can talk about it after we do this. But
Oh,
Was
unqualified,
Caleb's
thanks, Nick.
unqualified? Yeah.
A bag marker. That's what Nick
Well,
thinks of.
listen, I was gonna say lapper, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna say back marker. Anyway,
I would have said Kynan when you said bag marker.
Yeah,
So.
I had a lot of thoughts. And I
you
didn't
know what's funny? After
Hey, you call people out here, dude. It's so
after doing this, like after they're done, like a minute, they're done. Like, damn, I really should have said this for that one and that for this one. But anyway, out of you three that are next, who wants to go first? Well, go next, I should say. All right,
Looks
James,
like
let's
one
go.
of
I
them.
guess I win.
All right, James, are you ready? Let's see if
Never,
your quick
but
reactions
sure.
are quicker than Caleb. All right, here we go. Formula One.
Road course.
Not
I
as
don't know.
quick. Not as quick. Okay.
I don't-
Simtrax Broadcasting.
Amazing.
Goodyear.
Flat tire.
Chevy.
Camaro.
Too Fast, Too Furious.
Too many move. Yeah. Pass.
That would have been a good one if you kept going with that sentence.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's continue. Tire Slayer.
Champions.
Nicholas Alves.
Sucks.
Ah.
That's pretty good.
Oh God.
Ouch.
Pit Stop.
Crap. Fast. I don't know.
Okay. All right, and last, Christopher Bell.
Not a champion.
I can agree. I can probably agree. Watch him win too. Ugh, that would have been horrible.
I'm a
Anyway.
Blaney guy too, so
Yeah.
Rob or Jeremy?
Go Jeremy first.
Yeah, I'll
All
take
right.
it.
All right, Jeremy, are you ready?
Yeah.
L1 penalty.
Don't have.
Playoff format.
Great.
Lap traffic.
Pretty nice.
Chapman.
Great sponsor.
NASCAR.
Turn left.
Slide.
Job.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Hate them.
Ford.
Power baby.
Tire fall off.
Hate it.
And William Byron.
2023 champ.
I like that answer actually. Rob, you ready to go last? Let's see if your quick reactions are quicker than all these guys.
Probably not. I'll try.
All right, here we go. Horsepower.
Love it.
Menace.
Justice Murphy.
Wall.
Justice Murphy.
Danica Patrick.
Great wall.
Underappreciated.
Hazard. Say
Kynan
it.
Jones.
There it is. That's what I was looking for.
There it is.
About 3 other names came to mind. I figured I probably should skip over those.
All right.
Yeah.
Michael Massey.
Who?
Michael
Massey?
Massey.
Don't care.
I was going
Doesn't even know who it is. Doesn't even know
Do
who
you
it
know
is.
who it is? The F1,
Yeah,
the
I
ex
know
F1
some-
director.
The FIA
F1.
director that
Oh,
effed up
F1.
Abu Dhabi 21.
I was
Yeah,
hoping
that's
you were gonna
right.
say douche. Anyway.
Yeah, well, douche would be correct.
That is not right, Michael.
All right, last three. Here we go. Toyota.
All right. Camry.
Rain.
Imminent.
Kyle Larson.
Unfortunately, 2023 champion.
Okay. Now, does any of you guys want to take a guess at what was significant that I put for each of you guys?
Who we're most similar to was the driver.
Correct, Mr. Caleb. Correct.
Oh.
I picked so James, you got Christopher Bell because not only is he an all-around great driver, really good at short tracks, he's also a fan favorite for most guys that in an underdog compared to the rest of the guys that are in there, I think, to win the championship. Caleb, I went with Ryan Blaney for you because not only do you look like him, which I didn't know when I picked you, but also you drive like Blaney, and you're also kind of like you got that fan base going for you too. On the
Fan
other
base?
hand, yeah, me.
Oh, I got one. The only one that matters.
Jeremy, you got William Byron, the most dominant driver so far to this point of the play of basically the whole season, so that's why you got him. And then Rob, you got Kyle Larson for the aggressive driving style and also the past championship mentality and performance that he's had.
Wow,
Thank
Nick, you put
God
a
it
lot of thought
wasn't.
into this.
Thank God it wasn't because Kyle's a good dude. Because Kyle
Yeah,
is a good
no.
dude. You know. Then there's Rob.
Stand-up guy, never did anything wrong to anybody. Real stand-up guy. All right.
Real careful in public iRacing chats too.
Yes,
Yeah.
Rob is now muted. Rob is also muted in public iRacing chats. Not only is Kyle.
I think that's called
wait,
banned,
so I have a
not
question.
muted.
Really quick side note. Can Larson come back to iRacing?
His account got reinstated 2 years ago. Now.
Oh.
Real quiet.
Yeah,
Hold on,
they
before we
didn't
move
announce
on,
it, but yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Before we move on, I actually made a little something for our couple of hosts here too.
Oh God.
So
I wanted
let's.
to do one for Nick so bad. I forgot.
Well, you can always DM it
Make
to
it
me. All right. So let's start with Nicholas. Okay.
I'm ready.
Same
Ooh,
thing.
right. All right,
Quick answers.
let's go.
Let's see how quick you are. All right. Chase Elliott,
Great driver.
6th place.
That's where I'll finish.
Mickey Mouse,
Tools. Mouse tools.
FIA,
Oh, dude, they should have gave Lewis the championship.
Canada.
Berube.
Very good.
Thank you.
Justice,
All right.
you ready?
Yep.
Bugs,
Fuck.
Heat Racing,
Preferred.
Off Season,
Needed.
My Rear Bumper,
Bangable.
Apologizing.
Later.
All right.
I was hoping you were gonna say never.
I was hoping he was gonna give me something like hack because I already had my answer picked for that.
I wasn't walking into that one.
Yeah.
Okay. What are we at here? All right. We're actually really good on time here, boys. This is actually really encouraging. So we get to talk about so now we're gonna have like an open conversation about anything. So obviously we already talked a little bit about Phoenix. All of you guys have been on the podcast here before to talk about like your rigs and stuff. But is there anything personal about you guys? Jeremy, I know you're probably gonna have something to say about this. But the other three, is there anything personal about you guys that you want the fans to know about you before going into this race? A personal connection that you may want to make with the fans to have them rooting for you, or just in general a fun fact about yourselves. Sorry, the silence is
away.
killing me.
Mhm.
Actually, so the person I probably knows that has the answer, Jeremy, you want to go first? I think we're leaning towards the same thing here. I think you know what I'm about to, what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Here, I actually have a picture.
Go
right
ahead.
here. So this isn't the car that I'll be driving, but next Tuesday. Oh gosh, you can't really see it, but
Go up a little bit. There you go.
there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that's my college series car. So next Tuesday, if y'all want to tune into NASCAR's YouTube or Twitch channel, they will be streaming the eNASCAR College Series at 8 p.m. Eastern. I represent my college in the eNASCAR College Series. I'll be driving the number 72 Chevy Xfinity Camaro. And yeah, that's what I like to do in the off season. And I'm trying to promote it here on campus because we're Central/Southern Virginia, so we're not too far off from NASCAR City in Charlotte. And I feel like there's a big untapped demographic here from living in Northern Virginia, where it's not really looked upon as something that people watch on the weekends. Coming down here and going to school and being able to talk to people about NASCAR week in and week out and kind of discuss it and not just say, oh, yeah, they turn left and go fast. It's really encouraging. And I mean, you have people like the Burdens who are from down here, so people know just race car drivers in general. And not to mention the racetracks are around here. So you got like South Boston, you can go a little bit to the east, you can go Langley. We went to Bristol. Richmond isn't too far from here, and then if you want to make the travel, like I will, we'll go Charlotte. But yeah, that's kind of what I do in my off time.
Perfect. So actually, just shout out your college really quick. It's Longwood.
Yeah, Longwood University.
All
Go
right, what's the real
Lancers.
name? What's the real name of it?
Hey, when
What's
he first told us where he went to school when we did the 24, we thought he was fucking around, to be honest.
Can't confirm.
100%.
Yeah, it's bad when we get on Barstool, not for like having an accomplishment, but it was a basketball match. It was Longwood University versus Fairleigh Dickinson. So on the scoreboard, it said Longwood versus Fairdick. So that's how we got
Yes.
on there.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Fantastic.
All right, Jeremy, thank you for that. Thank you for shouting yourself out. Also, everyone, make sure who's listening and stuff. We'll be planning on talking about what Jeremy's doing more on our social media as well to keep the interest in for him and get some viewers going for him as well. The other three, is there anything special you guys want to talk about a little bit about yourself? I got someone shaking their head yes, so take it away,
Very
Caleb.
special. Very special.
Oh, I
This
love
is
it.
my plea and my convincing to the league. On Wednesday, if you're cheering at home, you should cheer for me. Let me tell you why. If you're on the racetrack, you should let me by. You should wreck the 53, the 9, the 02. Let me tell you why. My dog over there, he's sleeping. Best pit crew around. How's he gonna eat? Winning the championship. Cheer for the 54, fellas. Thank you.
Do it for the
That's all I have.
dog.
Did you just
That's all I
say
have.
how is he gonna eat?
Exactly. It's a do or die situation.
So you won't feed your dog if you don't win the championship?
The dog dies if he doesn't win the
That's what it
championship.
sounds like
is
he's
the
gonna get
threat.
9mm to the head. That's what it
No,
sounds like.
no, not that bad. It's
Yeah,
just
was it?
what am I gonna do? I'm gonna be sad if I don't win and these guys aren't wrecked. 21st,
Do you
22nd,
want to
23rd.
shout out your dog and tell everyone what her name is?
Her.
It-
Him, dude.
Oh, it's him.
No, I'm kidding. Sammy.
I thought it was a girl.
Sammy. He actually is sick.
Oh,
So,
it is. Oh, it is a boy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, he's got some weird stuff going on his feet. So they gave him like a steroid. He's passed the fuck out to bring him over, but
nice.
yeah, he's my pit crew.
He's your pit crew.
Yeah.
He does a great job.
He should have got the tires a little faster on at Sonoma.
That's right. He did a great
Yeah.
job.
Also, should have told you to look both ways before pulling out in traffic. Anyway.
You always look both ways before pulling out.
So
Shades
anyway,
Nick out.
the other two, that you guys have anything, personal or fun fact-ish you guys want to share about yourselves?
I feel like nobody wants me to win, so I feel like I'm not even gonna try. Just, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, yeah, it gives somebody something to cheer for. It'll be all right.
It's funny whenever you think this guy is down and out, he's not gonna come back. He always shows up at clutch time. He's got ice in his veins. Robert is always there.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks for selling it for me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anyway, so cheer for that guy if you want, if you like winners. If you're a Patriots fan, a Kansas City Chiefs fan, if you're used to dynasties in your backyard cheering for winners, you want Robert Raider to win. If you like underdog stories, if you like the little guy, David versus Goliath, you're gonna cheer for James Loveland, who is above me right now. James,
Problem is, it's the other way around. That's Goliath versus David.
Goliath versus. I always say David versus Goliath.
I know that's the correct way, but have you seen their size, Nick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Rob is definitely smaller. That's all I'm getting at.
Rob.
Yeah.
If you guys are ever walking around and you see a short guy and you're like, wow, that guy life must suck. I hope he has a good day today. Cheer for Rob. He's short.
And Nick.
Cheer for me too.
Nick
Cheer
is
for me
Let's
too.
say, Nick,
1/10
I don't
of 1
know.
inch taller than me.
Maybe.
There it is.
Actually, hey Caleb, how tall are you?
I'm 6'1.5" to be
Never
exact.
mind. Okay, I got giants above me. Anyway, James, is there anything you like to say? You wanna. Why should you be the champion of RR? What do you represent personally? What do you envision yourself to be? Who are you?
Who am I? I don't
Besides
know
James Loveland, who
No.
are you?
I'm gonna go have fun, man. I'm not gonna let anything bother me. I'm gonna go out have fun. It's 3 against 1, and I'm not gonna let that bother me. I'm gonna go
This
out.
sounds like he got a pep talk
Yeah.
from Trevor.
Oh, that's straight out of Trevor. That's gotta be. No way, it's not.
You
Nah.
got a pep talk from
Yeah.
Trevor.
Nah, I'm just gonna go have fun, man. I do it for fun. I enjoy it. Whatever happens, happens. In the end, I'm just here, man.
Perfect. So,
So,
so if you're ever driving around, walking around on the sidewalk, if you ever look towards a jungle gym, you see a bunch of kids having fun. You're like, wow, those kids are having fun. They're just out there enjoying themselves. Cheer for James Loveland. He's just trying to have some fun. 'Cause girls just wanna have fun. Oh, girls. Anyway,
Thanks, Nick.
Jesus.
yeah, you're welcome.
I
You're
got the I got the Kyle Busch story. Let's see if I can miss half
welcome.
the season and then come out and win the championship.
Oh, are you non-villain Kyle Busch?
I'm villain Kyle Busch.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
Kyle Busch at RCR for sure.
all
I'm
right.
talking
Okay.
2015.
RCR is just the villain of an organization, really.
I'm talking 2015 Kyle Busch.
Oh,
You know,
how are your
Break
legs?
legs comes
Yeah,
back. Oh,
you,
yeah.
you feeling
oh,
better?
they're great.
Thanks.
Uh,
I do want to say before we move on past this, big shout out to Terry Earhart. As I'm pretty sure I'm his favorite driver who's still in a spot to win a championship. So
old Terry.
Not true if you're listening, Terry. I've never wrecked Trevor. Rob has. So
Hey,
Multiple
I've had,
times.
listen,
Never
we've
happened.
had Terry and Mama Burns on the podcast. I'm the only person that can say they are both rooting for me.
Yeah, no, people just say that because they don't want to see you cry.
Ooh.
Uh,
Oh, so actually, this is actually a pretty good thing. Actually, all four of you guys have cameras. Thank you, Caleb, for finally getting one.
you're welcome.
So you guys are all gonna be basically the faces of Simtrax Broadcasting Wednesday night. So we're a funny hat. Put on. You're like, wow, that's a nice shirt. Wear that shirt. Shape up your beard a little bit. Get a haircut. Get pretty for the camera, because guess what? It's all about you guys next week.
I'm
Unless
actually
some
gonna pitch that to Patty.
unless somebody outside the championship four wins this race, which I'm hoping they do. Justice is hoping they do, because guess what? We want to spoil that fucking party because we knew we deserved to be there just as much as you guys. But in all seriousness, congrats to you guys for making the championship four. Um, it is definitely a lot hard. It's harder now, I would say, to make it this far to the championship than it has been in past seasons. It's only season 3, but this season has been a struggle for a lot of guys. Some people may look at Burns and be like, "Well, this kid's been winning all year." Well, yes, but there's work that goes into it to get yourself at a high performance level that he's gotten to. Like Caleb, he's probably one of the most consistent drivers I've ever seen at RR, besides the usual hiccups in qualifying to put himself in the back. But anyway, it's hard to be that consistent. Rob, you're a two-time champion. It's extremely hard to win back-to-back champions, let alone you're trying to do it 3 times. So you're trying to, pull that three-peat that, you're trying to be like Jimmy Johnson, winning 3, or, well, maybe more than 3 if you're really trying to be like Jimmy. And then you got James, who has the Kyle Busch story of breaking his legs, but really it was life that happened to James. He was just unable to get his rig down to where he's currently at, and you guys all have your own stories, and it's gonna be kind of interesting to see what plays out for you guys. But just so you guys know, no one's giving you a fucking handout to pass them on Wednesday night.
Oh yeah, inside wall, calling my name.
Nah,
First
it
come,
wouldn't be
first
the
serve.
inside wall. It wouldn't be the inside wall. Even though that guy is gonna
Think.
be, but you never know. That guy will be
Mm.
racing Wednesday, so just be on the lookout for him. Not naming any names. But anyway,
Logano.
Whoa, no names, no names, no
with
names.
with
But
that
yeah,
with that being said, are any you guys currently or have been practicing for Phoenix? Rob, I know you and Jeremy are probably the two that can
Not a
contest
lap
actually.
yet.
All right,
Not one.
Jeremy, what about you?
I put some time down. I saw a couple hosteds up today that I hopped in because I got a class at like 1:45.
Nice. James, have you done any practicing since, last night?
No, I've been pretty much gone since after the race. Went to
All right.
sleep, woke up, and went to work all
I
day.
was about to say
I-
James and Caleb have jobs. So does
Yeah.
Rob. So I mean, so
Caleb, were you like
which
comfortable enough with your points gap for you to actually like go out and just try Phoenix before Martinsville?
well, really, in my busy season at work, so I haven't had a ton of time. And then I get home, and it just kind of depends. So, like I said, I've typically only practiced on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I think I put a little bit of time in on Monday for Martinsville, but not for Phoenix. But good news is actually kind of funny how it works out. Everything goes right at once. My boss came in my office today and is like, "Yeah, man, we're giving everybody a Friday off through the end of the year. It's like you're up tomorrow." I'm like, "Oh." So I have a little time tomorrow to run some laps. So that's very convenient timing.
I do have a question for you that I've been meaning to ask you this whole time. I see that you have a TV on in the background. Is that for your dog to watch TV?
He watches TV. He's actually no,
Well,
he's watching right now.
oh,
I don't think you can see.
no.
No, it's too dark, but he's staring at it. And then I said something. I looked
What's
that
he
way and
watching?
turned. He typically watches like I
Paw
don't know.
Patrol?
Watching
No.
pit stops.
No, anything.
He's
Right,
watching
right.
pit film.
He's
dude.
watching film. Watching
Yeah.
film. No, anything with a ball involved, he just like stares at all day. It's kind of funny. He's a very interesting dog. But yeah, it
Yeah.
actually is.
Okay. So with that being said, I'm kind of like running out of things to talk about here. I thought we were gonna have a lot more time to talk about each of you guys. So does anybody else have anything that they
Well,
like
Nick,
to?
let's talk IRL. Let's talk with
That's
championship
actually a
weekend.
good point. All right, thank you,
I got
Robert.
one thing to say left.
Yeah, go ahead, Caleb.
Very important. So it's funny. One of your fans, Nick. There's only two of them, and then both might be in here. Little rumor circling around that maybe without me on your team, can't make the championship four. That's what I'm hearing. I'd never say it, but that's what I've been hearing. Maybe washed.
Washed up old
Thoughts on that?
Nicholas, huh?
Mm.
Yeah.
I love you, Nick.
I love you too, buddy. I'm glad you made it to the championship. I'm really pulling for you, seriously.
Yes. The
I'm
Wreck
pulling
Rob
for all. I'm
turns
pulling
in.
for all you guys. You guys. The unfortunate part about all this is you four are all such likable fucking people, where it's not like, hey, I want this guy to win above all of them. I can't pick a favorite to win. So sorry, none of you guys are getting my like help more than the other person. Not like you guys fucking need it, cause you probably be in front of me anyway. But anyway, let's talk about IRL. I know I gave you guys the drivers of who I thought you guys all resembled, but is there any? Actually, Rob, go ahead. You're the one that's already wearing a hat of who I'm assuming you want to win the championship.
No, actually, I just wore it because it was number 12, and I thought it was funny because Justice Murphy drives it. I don't, I don't really like any of these guys enough to pull for them, so I'm just hoping for a good race, honestly.
Really? Not one of the four you don't like more than the rest? Like, William Byron?
Definitely not William Byron.
What do you
I
hate
mean,
against Willie?
I don't know, man. If he's running in like fifth on a late restart and everyone wrecks in front of him, I think he's got it made. Other than that, he might struggle. Um, Christopher Bell, I think, is the coolest story, just because he's super talented, but NASCAR clearly isn't like his number one strength. Joe Gibbs likes to keep him from getting in the dirt cars, so maybe if he can go out and win a championship, maybe Mr. Gibbs will let him go back and run some dirt races again. Give Kyle Larson something to have to actually race against in
He
some
got
of these big
himself
races.
hurt in
But
New Zealand. That's
yeah, well, Joe Gibbs a bitch. That's all I'm trying to say.
Whoa, shots fired.
Shots fired. Yeah, that's going viral right there, boys. That's gonna be.
Jess, you want to talk about your favorite driver of who you want to win?
the cars in the background speak for themselves.
The number 9.
Was that number
the
7?
number 9 and
I
the
didn't know
7.
he was in the
Yeah,
championship
Allgaier.
four. Wow.
Allgaier, he is.
Oh,
Allgaier probably
that's right,
wins the
that's right.
Xfinity one, but
Who else in the
yeah.
Xfinity one?
It is Allgaier, Nemechek. It's not
Custer.
RCR.
Custer.
Yeah, Sam Mayer and Custer. So you know Custer's not winning it,
Right?
Because Custer's mid. I think it's one of the. It's either Allgaier or Nemechek, if I had to guess.
Okay.
But yeah, Blaney wins the Cup championship. He had the fastest car. He's got the best next gen average finish at Phoenix. Finished 4th, 2nd. So I would imagine it'd be much of the same.
All right. James, would you like to top that? Because I think I heard who you were rooting for earlier in the podcast.
Yeah, gotta go for Blaney. He's been the guy I've been rooting for since Tony Stewart retired, and I mean, I want him to win. I feel like probably Byron should win it. I mean, he's probably had the most consistent and best season of anybody, but I would like to see Blaney win it. As for Xfinity, I don't know. I mean, I'd love to see Allgaier win it. Man, the guy's been in it so many times and hasn't won it. It'd be cool to see him finally win it. And then trucks. I don't know.
I want to see Rhodes do it again in trucks for the drunk interview.
Yeah, just for that.
that would be cool, but I don't know. Hocevar's been really hot lately. I mean, I would probably have to pick him. I mean, people are saying Heim, but I don't know. Hocevar's been pretty on fire lately. So.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Loveland. Jeremy, who do you want to win?
I kind of want Byron just because first off, I'm a Hendrick guy. So if Larson wins, that's cool. But Byron brings up iRacing so much. I just think that that's so cool that that's his origin. For the Xfinity series, I would love to see Sam Mayer win it, which I know that's very controversial, but I would want to see how he handles it because he's so young. But at the same time, I want to see Allgaier win it as well, just because he's such a veteran, and I grew up watching him just in the Xfinity series, whether it was that 31 Brandt car. Like, I remember when him and John West Townley were in there, and I was a fan of John West Townley just because of the Zaxby scheme.
Oh boy!
It was, and
Did
I
you
saw
just
him.
no? Hold on. Did you
I
just
saw him-
willingly admit that in something
Yes.
that is recorded forever?
Yes, I saw
Okay.
him and Spencer Gallagher wrestle, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're doing that on live television.
Oh my god!
Why not?
This is not his last violent act.
Oh my god!
That's like saying you're a Robbie Gordon fan.
Wow!
I actually
No,
had a couple
no,
of
it's
Robbie
nowhere
Gordon
close.
diecasts.
No, you definitely want to be a Robbie Gordon fan over that.
It's like saying you were like a Aaron Hernandez fan.
It's
Oh my
it's-
god.
Post
listen,
2011, yeah.
there's nothing worse than being the guy that owned the car that John West Townley drove and then saying that Sheldon Creed is the stupidest driver you've ever had. I mean, God.
Oh, but the trucks, I just don't know. Like Corey Heim, it was some for RR, it was some hosted that we were doing, and Corey Heim joined, and I actually outqualified him. So that would be cool if he won. But I also really like Hocevar because he's taller, and he posted some on social media when he was with Legacy, and it was a really cool like promotional vid that was edited. So I was like, I think I want to pull for him because he's kind of cool.
He's tall, man.
I like him because he's taller, bro.
He probably roots for Logano
He's under
too.
5 foot nothing.
Yeah.
You just don't see that in racing nowadays. I mean, you got Michael Waltrip, but
Anybody else want to admit to being a John West Townsley fan while we're here? I mean, holy shit.
I saw him save that truck too at one point. Or
You
was it
saw
the
him do
Xfinity
what?
car? I can't. He saved some car, like he got hit and drifted to one of the series. I can't remember what it was. but as a young fan, I was like 12, 13 at the time. I didn't know the drivers. Like I knew the big guys like Gordon, Johnson, Jr. Of
I
course, all
bet he
Hendrick
wishes he'd have
studs.
drifted into one less door with an axe.
That's
That's probably about right.
oh my god.
Alright, so
I was
Caleb,
looking for it, Justice. I'm glad
okay.
you found it. I appreciate it. All right.
Caleb,
Oh god.
who do you want to win in IRL?
Let's move on from that whole topic. But my gut says Blaney, just because last year he wasn't in the Final Four, and he probably should have won the race if Logano wasn't his teammate. Probably he would have won it. But instead he just kind of backed off, finished second. And almost every time you see the four guys finish 1 through 4 unless one wrecks is kind of how it always goes. A little cheated up, I would say. So I would go with Blaney just based off of that. Based off of last year's run. I know the cars are different. But I want to see Bell win because, and I know the points ran different. It'll make sense in a minute. Don't look at me like that, Nicholas. It makes sense because he would actually be leading the Winston Cup points. And I know the stages are throw it off for a loop and there's different strategies, but if it was the Winston format, he would be like 70 points up, which is easily make upable. But I don't know if that's a word. But he's the guy that I would say if he runs well, finishes third, he should be the champ. So that's how I feel.
Okay, anyway, with that horrible take, we are going
Dude,
to.
what?
Whoa! We're
So
gonna.
Rob, by the
Some of us
way,
don't like the playoffs. Okay, Nick.
by the
Sorry, go
way,
ahead,
Rob,
Justice.
the only reason that I remembered that is because on Door Bumper Clear they were talking about it, and apparently Brett's dumbass, after Richard said what he did, went and tweeted live look at John West Townsley, and it was something. And Jeff Gluck texted him and goes, "Did you just tweet live look at a dead guy?" And I was like, "Oh my god."
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. He
So,
did. I kind of forgot about that.
yeah, so that's where
He's
they
getting a
started
lot of
talking about
airtime here for a guy who's been dead for
that
3
for
years or
4
whatever.
years. Yeah.
Jeez.
Huh.
So, topic
Justice
that's
for
gonna
John.
be. Okay. A topic or question for all of you guys, and Justice and I will go last here. Um, who do you guys think is gonna win Phoenix? You can't pick yourself, so it's gonna be more interesting. And if you pick a playoff driver, that'd be kind of funny, thinking, you know, that playoff driver is gonna win. But anyway, would you guys like to pick winners for our race at Phoenix?
No.
Okay, so Rob, you go
Fair enough.
first.
All right.
Perfect. Yeah.
So, I mean, it's going to be one of the four of us, I feel like. And honestly, you could pick any of these three guys. You know, Jeremy will put in more time than anybody else, but Phoenix isn't exactly his strongest type of racetrack. Caleb's always pretty good at those places, but James is like anytime you're hard on the brakes, you know, in flat tracks. Yeah, then go ahead and add Dover. You know, he's tough to beat. So, you know, I think I'll actually be really nice and say James Loveland, I think, is the guy that I would take. Put that on his shoulders, and hopefully it'll drag him back to around like seventh, so that the three of us can battle it out.
All right, James, with being called out or being thought to win, who do you think is gonna win Phoenix besides yourself?
Man, this is tough. I don't know. Everybody, all three of them are good.
Don't have to pick one of those three.
Oh, I
He's
know.
not picking you, Nicholas.
I'm trying to think who else was strong there. I mean, if we're gonna go non-playoff, why don't we go with my teammate Trevor?
Mm.
I think he's a little upset with not getting the strong round of 8 and not make it to the Final Four. So he's gonna get some redemption and go out and win and get himself set for next season.
All right. So now we got two guys left. I don't know who to go to next because you didn't pick one of you guys, but that's fine. So Caleb, would you like to pick who do you think is gonna win Phoenix and not yourself? Can also be a non-playoff driver if you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna go non-playoff driver as well. I think we're gonna have a little bit of a little beating banging going on somewhere. Don't know who it'll be, but somebody's gonna get into each other, let somebody on the inside, and they drive off into the sunset. Second place wins the championship. That's my call. I'm gonna say Berube, And my reasoning behind that is because he's due for a win, and he's always somewhat fast when he makes the right decisions. He's always going to be there. No knock on Berube either. He's been really good the last couple of races. Did all he could this past weekend. Shut up, Berube. I'm gonna go with him because Rob makes one comment every time he's fast. How the fuck is he not falling off? It's like, oh, his lead's getting bigger. He's going faster. I burnt my stuff off, and there he goes.
Unbelievable. I know. We're still trying to figure out what he uses for his hacks.
It's the hacks button once every blue moon.
Every now and then I'm like, whoa.
That's why you
Jeremy.
can't get it slowed up to avoid the barrels coming to pit road. 'Cause the hacks throw off the.
Yeah.
Timing. Jeremy, who do you think is gonna win Phoenix besides yourself?
I was gonna take Trevor, right? Because he was so mad, but I can't take him. Then I was gonna take Brube because he missed it by 1 point. Can't take him. So let's just go with Rob. I mean, I feel like that's a pretty solid bet. I feel like I'd be losing money if I put that in Vegas, just because the odds would be so good. But I mean, yeah, I mean he's been solid there. I mean, what else is there else to say? It would be a teammate winning. So I see him winning.
Nice. So now, outside of the championship for Justice, who do you think's gonna win Phoenix besides yourself?
Oh man, I'm not picking you, Nick. Don't worry. Um, hmm. Yeah, look at who was super solid there last season. Rob out front just turned into Joey Logano at Kansas or Kevin Harvick. Arrow blocking, and I was second. I don't remember seeing really hearing from Trevor or anybody in the Champ Four. So Caleb's out, Nick's out. Oh man, I'd probably take Loveland if I had to take somebody.
Nice. Well, I'm gonna go with the guy that is fast. You know, I was up there last year doing pretty good up until someone really didn't learn how to drive off of turn 4. Anyway, so I'm gonna go with Justice actually to win this race. I also, like Caleb, think a non-playoff driver might actually ultimately win this race, just based on the fact that a lot of guys are fast here. It's hard for playoff guys to win races. We've seen it already in playoffs, so a couple of non-playoff guys win a race. So obviously now there's only 4 left, so the guys in the league actually now outnumber them by a lot. So
A
uh,
lot to a little.
a lot to a little, yeah. Do the math, a lot. Um, so yeah, I think a non-playoff driver is gonna win, and my money would be on Justice at if I had to put some money on it. But so guys, we're almost capped here for time. I know I've asked you guys a lot if there's anything else you guys want to talk about, but before we sign off here, is there anything you guys like to say? Shout anybody out? Would you want to go into thanking anybody for your season? I know Patty's gonna probably drag you guys up there to speak about this too, but anybody, anything you wanna give thanks to before we head out of here?
May the best man win.
All right, Mr. Caleb, that's some nice words to your competitors. Uh, Anybody else want to say anything before we sign out of here?
Shout out to
Alright.
everyone who's supported over the season. Doesn't matter who the driver is. I know that I've had a lot of support this season, but anyone who's tuned in, family, friends, other sponsors of the league, thank y'all for the support. And yeah, I can't wait to see who comes out on top.
Perfect. Well, without further ado, we are going to sign off here on RR After Dark. Lastly, before signing out of here, we always have to give thanks to our wonderful sponsors. I'll name them all for you guys. If you guys forgot them, that's fine. So we have Chapman Environmental Services. Of course, they sponsor the whole league and is the main sponsor of the league. Without them, we can't be here doing what we love on a
And
weekly
3 of the
basis.
cars in the championship
Anyway,
4.
yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it's not rigged at all for our main sponsor. Also, Butt Kicker, who is an amazing sponsor. They give out a free Butt Kicker at the end of the year for us to give out to a driver, so that's wonderful of them. Ultimate Siding and Gutters, wonderful sponsor as well. They've been with us since season 1, longtime sponsor, great to have them on board. Same with Chapman. They've been here since season one. That's fantastic. Simtrax Broadcasting, um, they do an absolute stand-up job. They are one of the most professional broadcast teams out there. They've done so much different things with us. We were their first official league that they brought on when they first started. They've only been with us for 2 seasons, but it's been 2 fun seasons with them. A lot of intricate parts that have been going on with the broadcast. Patrick and Stella, especially Patrick, does an amazing job with how he handles himself, the league, and broadcasting, and he brings a lot of different things to the table for you guys who watch to get a little bit insight on us and what we do, and he does a great job with, especially last night with Martinsville. We had a lot of caution, so he probably had a lot to talk about. So he's probably feeling a little hoarse today with the amount of talking he probably had to do. So shout out to Patrick. We always do appreciate him, and then shout out to you guys. I know there's only 5 of you guys here, but anyone else in the league that's watching, and I know us admins are gonna reiterate this on a Wednesday night as well. But thank you guys for always showing up, be making this league competitive, always showing what professionalism means, not only on the track but off the track with voice comms and Discord etiquette and just having a good time and hanging out with the boys because this is what we set out to do over a year and a half ago when we left our old league, and we admire and appreciate everything that you guys bring to the table for us to enjoy what we're doing because we know you're here for the same reason that we are, just to hang out, have a good time, and just go fast, man. That's what we're all about. But anybody else want to say anything before we get out of here? I know that was a lot
No,
for me talking.
I
No?
just want to say I agree with everything that you said, Nick. We put this whole thing together uh, for all the reasons that you mentioned, and we have a really, really great core group of guys, and you know, it's hard to put together a league that's successful. It's hard to put together a league that can run as efficiently as this one does, and you always run into issues here and there and things to tweak, but I mean, we really do have the best group in iRacing on the ovals. I mean, I don't think there's anywhere better to be, and it's just because everybody involved. So shout out to everybody in the league.
Awesome. Thank you for that. All right, well, that's gonna be it for us. We're gonna head out of here. Tune in. Make sure you tune in this Wednesday night coming up at 8:30 Eastern Time on Simtrax Broadcasting. We'll be posting about it on our socials. We want to get you guys viewing our last race. We want to get a lot of participation out there. We do this for fun. We do this for you. Come support us. Good night, everybody. See you Wednesday night.